Hello, 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 mis amigos. Welcome another day of streaming. While we're here waiting for people to come on, um, something that I want to. Oh, actually, I should just put on some videos again. Just you know, just to have in the background because I'm an iPad kid. Alberto, hello, welcome, welcome. You're always the first one to come on. How are you, my friend? Hello, hello. How was your day? How was your weekend? Today's a Saturday, right? Yeah, it's Saturday. How was your Saturday? Um, I'm doing good, I'm doing good. Hello, Sock, welcome, welcome. Oh, wait, really quick. I need to take a pic real quick. I need to send a pic to, send a pic to, TikTok real quick. Hold up, hold up. Oh gosh. Hold up, hold up. Live on Twitch. Hold up, hold up. Almost done, almost done, almost done. That. Okay. Let me just post real quick. Okay. Holding, holding. Okay. That's like a little bit too to take a pic. Okay. All right. We are back. Okay. Hello, Sock. How are you doing? How are you doing? It's good. Just a chill day. Nothing much. Oh, good. I'm glad you're having a chill day. Honestly, same here. Nothing much with me as well. Nothing really eventful happened, to be honest. Same old, same old. But can't complain. I'll take that over a bad day. So, yeah. How about you, Sock? How are you doing? How are you doing? If you're still here. Damn, his editing is so good. Facts, facts. His editing is so, like, cinematic. That's not me. Like, so good. I wonder how long it takes him to record this. Curious. He wants them.
My condolences to those who bought this 4K mini projector before because it's now
I'm
on a
tired as
massive
heck. Work
discount.
has
I've
been
tested
exhausting and I still have to go in tomorrow morning. Sock, I'm sorry. Well, I appreciate you coming on here even though you're tired. I hope that tomorrow goes by pretty fast for you. And hopefully you don't stay on here for too long. Not saying I'm trying to kick you out, but I do want you to get your sleep before work. What's the plan for tonight's stream? Oh, for tonight's stream, I want to talk about someone's case. Don't know if you guys know about David. Don't know if you guys know about him. If you guys listen to his music. Hi Marisol, hey queen, hey girl. How you doing? How you doing? Um, yeah, oh, you're like, Sock's like, oh god. Child, what now? Wait, Alberto, you never heard of David? You haven't heard of his music before? Oh my gosh, Marisol, yes. So yeah, tonight is something that I want to kind of talk about this. I've been kind of following this case for honestly since it happened, because I listened to his music and it's quite unfortunate that I can no longer listen to his music anymore, because of what's going on. But you know, the less said about this, the better. I was hearing the whole case while I was folding my laundry. Oh yeah, it's crazy. I just know whoever's making the documentary for this is they're just like, and I'm waiting for the documentary. I'm waiting for Netflix to drop that documentary because I'm gonna watch that shit all the way. Like, I'm excited when they drop the documentary. I already know it's in the process. Um, but yeah, I want to talk a little about this guy's case. Wasted talent. But um how was your day, Marisol? How was your day? Or HBO Max, yes. But if I remember correctly, I think HBO Max and Netflix is combining together, right? I think they signed together, right? For most people, but yeah, no. See, Sock, I kept reading the comments about everybody's saying like separate. Oh, okay, before they found more evidence that was released recently, and there's like a whole kind of gap of like whatever. People were like saying like separate the artist from the art, yada yada yada. And then finally when they dropped more evidence, people were like, yeah, nope. There's just no way you can separate the artist from the art. It's just yeah. They are. Yeah, I thought I heard somewhere that HBO Max. Am I tripping? HBO Max signed up with Netflix, I believe. Am I tripping? I don't know. Let me see. HBO Max signing with Netflix. Am I tripping? I have no idea. Uh oh, okay. Sorry. Netflix acquired Warner Brothers. Oh yeah, including HBO Max and HBO. Um while they are under one owner, will remain separate, rather than immediately merging into Netflix. But yeah, I was so happy because I'm like, yay! That means because I used to have a HBO Max account, but I don't have one anymore right now. So um I'm kind of excited that they are merging, so then I can finally watch HBO stuff again. Ah, so I'm excited for that. Um, Slept most of the day because I stayed up all night again. Oh my gosh, girl, staying up again? Oh, you little crackhead. I'm just joking. Netflix being mono. I think who tried bidding against Netflix. I think it was Paramount, if I'm correct. Paramount or some other platform tried bidding against Netflix, but luckily I or not luckily, but um HBO did denied it and still partnered up with Netflix. So I'm really really happy. I have my cousins. You want it? No, it's okay, Alberta. No, 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 it's okay. Um, but yeah. Oh my gosh, speaking of today, I ordered things for my EDC outfit and I can say that I have one outfit that I really really love. It's my forest fairy type of outfit for EDC. I'm in love with it. It looks really good and yeah, I really like it. But the only thing is I'm gotta make sure to get some pasties or something because that outfit definitely is like a 90% chance of me getting like a nip slip. So I definitely need to what's the word? Get some pasties and make sure the girls are like anchored in. But overall I do like the outfit. So I do have one outfit that's good. My Dune outfit, it needs a little bit of work. Not feeling the entire piece. I do like my top. I ordered a scarf to kind of give like the dunes kind of so I can wrap it around my head and kind of give it like the Dunes Day kind of vibe. But it didn't come, and it said it was delivered. a few days ago, but I don't see it anywhere in my house. So I'm kind of like, I don't know what happened to it. I don't know if I should just reorder it or I'm gonna go thrifting tomorrow, so I'm thinking I can just go look for a brown scarf or something like that. Um, I think I'm gonna do that. I got robbed. Well, you know what? It was just one item, and it's just a scarf from Shein, and it was only like $3, so it's fine. I don't mind reordering it. And I mean, I'm just gonna use it one time, but yeah, no. So my Doomsday outfit's kind of it has some work to do. I bought some leg warmers, and I'm not really feeling it, so I think I need to get some boots to go with the outfit. Um, and then my other day, I think for the third day, I think I'm just gonna wear a onesie. I mentioned that before, or like last year, I was like, if I ever go to the EDC again, I'm just gonna wear a onesie because I'm done with outfits. So I think my last day, I'm gonna wear a onesie, and just call it a day because I'm not gonna be, yeah. And then I have like a few more outfits for like the day clubs and the night clubs, but I'm not like loving it. It's like has potential, but like I'm not in love with it like the way that I'm in love with my Forest Fairy outfit. So I'm kind of debating whether to buy more clothes or just go with it or just wear like my old bikini suits. I'm not sure. But I definitely have to make a decision soon because shipping is gonna take a little bit from Shein and it's EDC is literally in like 2 weeks. So I'm just kind of like, oh man. Hello, Urges. Hello, hello. Bikini all the way. I do have a few bikinis. Oh yeah, I do actually have another outfit. I have a bikini that I ordered like years ago. No, like a year ago, but I never wore it because it just I don't know why I didn't wear it. But yeah, I ordered it and I tried it on finally and it looks tea. So at least I have another outfit. So I have two outfits good. But I still need like a few more. But yeah. It's going to be hot. Oh yeah, it's definitely gonna be hot. For this Dune outfit, it's the bottom that I got was like a skirt. I'm not really feeling it, so I might just switch it out and just wear a bikini and then just a scarf and then some boots. And kind of give like a Doomsday kind of vibe, but I don't know, we'll see, but y'all will definitely see the fits on the days that I wear them for sure. Hello, hello. Plus you can show off your figure more. Oh, trust me, Marisol, trust me. All my outfits are very, very showy. Like I'm not trying to be modest. Let's just say that. Like I was trying on my outfits, especially the Forest Fairy, and I'm like, I'm so glad I wanted this cut because it would not have looked as good if my figure was not slimmed down a little bit. But anyways, yeah. Shout out to you or anybody else who can plan out outfits like that because Lord, I don't think my brain can do that much thinking. Sock, this is my first time actually planning out outfits. Usually I'm a last minute gal. I'll just throw some shit on. But I'm like, this is my last EDC and my little sister wants to kind of like plant or like have matching somewhat aesthetics. So I'm like, you know what? This EDC I'm just gonna actually plan ahead, try and close ahead of time and like actually like not be last minute for once and actually like be happy and enjoy the stuff that I wear and stuff like that. So yeah. Not trying to be modest, notice. Yeah, only just for this EDC thing. Booties out, bodies out. I'm not trying to be modest. Like, and yeah, it is hot, but like, it's just an excuse to just like show off your body. But honestly, yeah. Anyways, um, go out the bank exactly. Why is it your last one? Because this is my third EDC and I'm done. I don't want to go anymore. It's literally the same stuff over and over and over and over again. Um, it's so tedious. I'm kind of over raving. I've been over raving. It's just I go just mainly for like either my family or my cousins who want to go, or like my friends want to go. But I'm truly am done with EDC after this one. I do not want to go anymore. I want to spend my money and my time traveling rather than like getting turned at the raves. But yeah, sun's out. Burns out, exactly. But last year when I went, it wasn't too hot. It was actually kind of cold. It was actually really cold. I think the moment we got to the venue, my cousin and I, we literally just put on our jackets because it was just really cold. I was like, yeah, fudge the outfit. It's cold. So hopefully this year it's a little bit on the warmer side, not too hot where it's like a heat stroke type of thing, but like, just enough to kind of keep it kind of like cozy and comfortable. You know what I mean? Time for the Renaissance Fair. I've never ever been actually, never been, but I'm pretty sure the stuff that you wear to a rave might not be suitable for a Renaissance Fair. I feel like for Renaissance Fair you might cover up a little bit more, right? But anyways, for sure, for sure. But anyways, I'm excited. I'm excited. I can't believe it's gonna be in 2 weeks. It's coming by really fast. We haven't even bought tickets yet. I was gonna look for tickets like this week. Hopefully they went down a little bit. Hopefully the resellers are selling it a little bit less now that it's like getting closer to the thing. So maybe they're a little bit scared that no one's buying it. So then hopefully they'll bring it down a little bit. Um, but yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. Um, yeah. Yeah, the resellers right now, they're selling it for like 600 for just GA, and I think when you bought it, or when people bought it when it came out last year, it was only like 450. So I'm like 600, 700, 800, 1K. No. I'm gonna wait and try looking this week. But yeah, anyways, that's kind of the update for my EDC kind of outfit for right now. Excited, excited. And I'm going thrifting tomorrow. I told my mommy, I was like, oh, do you want to go to like, to like one of like, like the old like thrifting stores, like Goodwill and all that stuff, and like, I don't know. I'm gonna see if I can get some good fits. I kind of want to change up my closet and have more outfits that I can wear. So we'll see if we find any good fits at Goodwill. And maybe I can find some boots for EDC, or even I want some Timberlands right now. Right now I've been eyeing some Timberlands. I don't know why they've been catching my eye, but I just really enjoy like the streetwear type of look. So hopefully they have some Timberlands or have some good jeans or good bottoms, good like baggy jeans. But yeah, hope you find what you need. Thank you, Versal. Maybe get some color in your closet. Yeah, Alberto. I don't know about that. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. I'm a black outfit type of gal. I'm a black cat. But we'll see. Maybe a little bit of red in there, maybe some green. Who knows? Get some jerseys in there. We'll see. Um, a lot of my clothes, the new place I'm about to move to, I don't have too much closet space. Dang, you're donating your clothes? That's a good idea. I should actually do that too, Sock. I should really do that too. But anyways, that is just the update from me on my part. I'm excited. I'm excited to hopefully show you guys. I'm excited to see my Carol's outfit. I think she's also doing she's coordinating with us too. So I'm excited to see her outfit. I'm excited to see my other. Yeah, we'll see. You're a seven? Ooh, I'm a eight. 7.5 to 8. I think 8 is more just like perfect where it's like comfy. 7.5 is a little bit almost tight. But yeah. Anyways, um. I would definitely update you guys or do a little haul tomorrow when I come back. Or unless I don't get anything, then it is what it is. Hopefully I can get some good finds that are cheap and whatnot. Yeah. But anyways, um, let's get into this case. I don't know what we should watch though.
Moments he would keep. There was an evil version of myself that would kind of come out at.
Wait, have you guys heard his music before? Let me just start off there first, actually. Have you guys heard his music? Have you guys
Key
heard
point for both the
David's
prosecution and the
music
defense.
before? Cause I was a fan. Or just nice. Cause I actually really enjoy his music. I was a fan. I heard the song he wrote for her. Ooh, if you do a haul, try to make it where your cam is like full screen. Oh yes. If I do a haul, then definitely we'll go back to like the what's it called? The FaceTiming type lives. Maybe I'll go back to TikTok for tomorrow. If I do a haul. But yeah. You didn't know who he was until the case. Dang. having heard his music, he is talented. Yeah, his music is really good. Let's see. Okay, before we get and dive into his case, let's listen to some of his music. It's uh gosh. Anyways, let's listen to some of his music just so that you guys can kind of get a little feel for it. This is one of his most popular songs, Romantic Homicide. So, let's just see his I've never seen his music videos, but we can definitely watch and see. Hi, Pastak. Hello, welcome, welcome. He is a huge anime fan. Nice. Well, yeah, let's have a listen to him. Why is it in Why is it Chinese further? None of this guy. Huh? Hey, where's English? Am I just blind? Nani? There we go. He had a famous TikTok song too, right? I think so. Why do all crazy people have like an anime? You died. Oh my gosh, I can't. This part of the song when his case first came out, um, this part just kept replaying back in my head. And then it's like I can't sing it anymore because like she actually died. So it's like, oh, and here, okay. And so here is what people are like speculating in this music video. They're saying how like the girl in this music video looks very, very similar to Celeste, which is the girl that passed away. So yeah, it's just crazy because a lot of his music, it's like hinting or like it's as if he confessed. You know what I mean? But we don't know. It's not confirmed. It's just all speculation. Yeah, it's so bad. Right? That's what everyone's saying though. A lot of his music is like confessions. And it's not just this song, but a lot of songs. So that's one of his popular songs. Does he have um TikTok song? Does he? Which one is it? Oh, which one? And then I really liked his song with Jason the Weenie. Oh yes, there we go. This was literally like last year's my summer jam. I really really liked it. It's so cute. This is like She is super young. Yes. Yes. And again, another girl in the music video that looks very, very, very similar to the girl that passed away, which is like kind of like curly hair type. Yeah.
Watch the sunrise along the coast as we're both getting old. I can't describe what I'm feeling.
He thought he's a white boy. Making your stomach turn. Ugh.
So please don't let me go. Don't let me go. And if it's right, I don't care
How long it takes.
how long it takes.
Like you're singing this, you're like, yeah. But now it's like, it's because she was a minor, so he's like, doesn't matter how long he has to wait. Oh my gosh. I like the song too. Mhm. And then let's put on this song. This one I sing, I hear it, and I'm thinking sleep well as in like you dead sleep well, you know, like you dead as in like, yeah. So it's just.
Do you think about me every night before you go to sleep?
Again, curly hair girl.
Must be terrified of what you might see in your dreams, but I'm here for you.
Yeah, he talks about having an alter ego.
And even if you don't think that I'm near, I'll still be right next to you, my dear. And the way you make me feel has the power to make the whole world stand still.
he wanted to do, or he just either yeah he like manifested what he wanted to do, or he did it and anyways yeah, and you see where he stabbed her. If you guys recently they just released of like finding out what cause of death was, and she was, I think it was two sharp objects penetrating into her, I forgot where it was essentially, but near her abdomen. I'm I just want to I just want to dive into his mind. I just want him to just like just, if he did do it, just tell me the whole story. Like I just want to see how his mind works. But we'll probably never get to really know the full story. I feel like, or I don't even know. Anyways, I think that's basically it for this part. It was mainly that part where I was like, good golly. And then like there was like another video of where he it's like a video where it's like again him dragging someone who's dead into like a trunk of a car, and then you know it happens again. Can, is it music video car? What song is it? This one. Don't even know the song either.
Yeah,
But
you know
again,
what's odd?
alter
If
ego.
something's free, people just can't resist it. Doesn't matter what it is.
Wow, is that being?
I think in one of his interviews he talks about how like when he made that song Romantic Homicide, the one I showed you guys earlier, he mentioned how like a lot of the songs that he made, um some of the songs he said he drew the experience, like he himself never experienced it, but his friends would go through things and he would write about what they were going through, because he's never gone through it, so he wrote about it. And then also sometimes the songs that he was writing, he, if his mommy like didn't like it or she like hated it, it was like his cue of saying like, okay, he's onto something good. So yeah, anyways. Hello Rez, hello. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Um yeah, see him dragging a person, his alter ego again. Oh, that's him. I haven't watched this one, but yeah, see they put it in the trunk of a car, so which is like, that's where they found the body, in the trunk of the Tesla. And then again, a girl just curly hair. It's just yeah. I don't yeah. I don't really want to watch his music videos anymore. Listen to his music. It's just very. Oh my gosh. Okay. Just think he insane and not that alter ego took over. He did what he did. He came down from it. He has been living with regret ever since. His mind probably won't know peace until he's dead. See, the thing is, he came down from it. So the death happened last year, but all his music that he created was 3 to 2 years ago. So those songs came out before the death actually happened. But last year he was on a tour when they found her body, and he was on a tour, or he started going on tour like a few days after the the day of her death. And there was this one where he was crying and he's singing a song called The Afterlife. And this was literally like yeah. So again, people are also speculating that like he's crying because she's actually like dead. So this is like last year when he was going on tour. And I think it was a few, maybe really close to her, the time that she actually died.
he would lie.
Let's see, where is it?
What does it
Look at how many people went to his concert.
tries to keep
Into
you
true crime.
alive, fail. I thought a girl would make
And
me
what you're saying, Sock, I feel
happy.
like this is him crying at this moment was probably the part where he actually like it finally all hit him where it like actually just happened.
Not for sale.
Where is it?
What I can
Oh, here it is.
what I can as I try to pretend something else is making me cry when you cross the line. Let me get those flashlights up for this. I feel and when I die, I'll love you from the afterlife.
Wait, is this the part where he cries? Or there's a one where he's crying.
Afterlife.
Where is it where he's crying?
From bleed what I can as I try to pretend something else is making
This is
me
the part.
cry when you cross the line. By your side, I'll love you from the after. I'll love you from
You see? You see? It just seems like it just seems like he's singing it because he like means it. He actually means it because she's in the afterlife. Golly. Me. Just imagining like if he actually did do it. Again, I don't know. I don't know. But gosh, like what is going through his mind? I'm just ah like he's looking out to all these people and in his mind though he's probably like picturing oh gosh. Okay, anyways. Good golly. Anyways, what are you guys saying? Um First time I heard a guy tell me that he was having issues with thoughts, I left that friendship so fast. As you should. Um, there were so many signs. Yeah. If this didn't happen, I don't think we would have seen them as signs. We would have just been like, damn, like he has such a hot take on some like the way his perspective or like the way he's singing about these topics are just so sheesh. But because of what happened, they're like, shit, okay, they're actually signs. Um, true crime undead. Um, a little much for me. Oh, you know what? I won't say that. Almost forgot I had it. Oh, sucks. Sorry. Yeah, this is quite a bit. It is quite a bit. And go to sleep. And yeah, work tomorrow. Sock, go to bed. Yeah. Got a year ago. Yeah, a lot of people were kind of upset that it took so long, but I'm sure it's because they wiretapped into like all of his phones and like electronics in his house and everything like that. I don't know if you guys saw, but like they found a lot of child pornography. Oh, am I allowed to say that? They found a lot of child corn, a lot of corn on his like iPhone and all that stuff. So kind of really grossed out. Um, good golly, because it's like kids. Why is that? Why is that? Why is that a? Why is that a genre? Like, anyways, my intrusive thoughts are doing some dumb funny stuff, almost like tisms. Yeah, Mine are very like, sometimes I'll have thoughts of like what if I just put my hand on the stove while it's on? Shit like that. They were building his case. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. But I read somewhere, I saw somewhere saying that his attorney is saying that like, oh no, I heard someone's opinion or what their perspective on it, and they're saying like if they said that the cause of death for Celeste was a stab or like a sharp object penetrating into wherever she was stabbed, where is the weapon? Where is the murder weapon? And if they don't have that, it's, I guess they have a higher chance to kind of get out of it, is what I'm hearing. But I'm not sure. Yeah. You can't post this on YouTube now. Oops. Probably not allowed to say that. Well, hopefully my mic didn't catch that really fast. Hopefully it was very quick. um, Worst thought that ever came. Not worth. I've done that when I was drunk, where like we were at a bonfire and I don't know why I put my hands over the fire, but yeah. If they let him go, he's going to do it again. Oh. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, just having child corn already on the phone is kind of like oof, you know? I don't know. I don't know. And you said building his case. I think it was like a few days ago they finally found uh a cause, a premeditated cause reason as to why he murdered her or something like that. Again, people are saying because of his music career. But it's just like, golly. Anyways, let's see. What does he got to say? Oh, and you know what's crazy too? His dad is an attorney, so that's pretty interesting. I thought that was kind of interesting that his dad's an attorney. Yeah, he probably has young fans, so it won't be difficult for him to find other. Ugh. Oh gosh, you're not wrong, Marisol. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. But hopefully, after everything that happens, hopefully he doesn't have any more fans. Yeah. That, dude, that's why I cannot wait. Dude, that'd be kind of a. Actually, no, it's not. It's not. That's not. Yeah, I was gonna say, imagine you get to be one of the jurors and you get to listen to like, because usually it's like a lot of talking, but now you get to like listen to music. But then, never mind. The music is used as evidence. It's kind of nasty. Anyways.
Welcome back to Court TV. Let's switch
Damn,
gears
he has a
now to
very
Los
deep
Angeles for
deep
that
voice.
high-profile case involving celebrity singer
High-profile case
David
right now.
Burke. Now, his hearing
David
ended
Burke.
just a short time ago, and 1 year ago today, 14-year-old Celeste Rivas, that's the victim here, she was seen for the last time, and investigators say she went to the singer's house. And a newly released report from the medical examiner says Rivas died from, quote, multiple penetrating injuries after suffering 2 puncture wounds to her torso. Now, for more on what happened at today's hearing, we go live now to Los Angeles, where attorney Dina Dahl is outside the courtrouse. Dina, thank you so much for joining us today. You were inside that
TV
hearing.
voice,
You are our
really
eyes
is.
and ears. What can you tell us came out of that courtroom?
Yeah, she's stupid for that.
Well, the defense
Like no
continues
other.
to request a speedy preliminary hearing, highly unusual considering the mountain of what appears to be forensic and digital evidence that the prosecutors had. In fact, prosecutors say they have a significant amount of child pornography evidence on the singer's phone that they plan on handing over to the defense.
Yeah, Dina, we heard DA Nathan Hochman earlier this week talk about the totality of that digital evidence that they have against this singer here. Now, we know the family of Celeste Rivas did not attend. They say they are having, a tough time, of course, asking for privacy. But Dina, I know you've had a lengthy career in law. You've seen things like this before. I want to ask you, what stood out to you most from the newly released coroner's report talking about those puncture wounds?
Well, this was not surprising considering, as you said, the DA said that she was killed with a sharp object. Now, in the courtroom today,
I should probably click on it.
her family was not there. There were two young girls sitting next to the investigators behind the prosecution table. At the end of the day, scheduling was perhaps the most important element of today's hearing. The two sides have agreed upon a May 1st preliminary hearing, but they will reconvene the afternoon of April 29th to determine whether or not the defense feels as if it has sufficient evidence turned over from the prosecution to proceed.
Absolutely. It gives the sentiment that today was a little more procedural versus going to the substance of this case. And we know it's a heavy case. We have the special circumstances, lying in wait, committing a crime for financial gain, murdering a witness to an investigation. It's just going to be a huge one once this, if it does eventually go to trial. Dina, you talked about the two girls sitting there. Could you give us a little more courtroom color? Who actually was there? Did we see David? Did he have any particular demeanor or reaction to anything? What can you tell us in those regards?
Well, the courtroom was packed. There was a line going into
I
it, and you
bet
had
it's
to be able to
packed.
get there in
Sheesh.
time to get a seat. Actually, representative
This is
from
going to
the
go down
media
in history.
organization at the
This is
end
what
of the
people are
hearing
going to talk
asked
about
the judge yet again
years
to
later.
open
So like,
the
do you guys remember that
hearings
case, you
to
know, like with O.J.
cameras,
Simpson?
and she denied it
Wait, you
yet
remember that
again. So
case
these
with
will not
David?
have cameras throughout the proceedings. David Burke himself walked in with an orange jumpsuit, sat down. His lawyer, Blair Burke, put her hand on his shoulder, and she did that whenever she addressed him.
The girl's parents weren't on top of all that. So from what I've learned, or from the videos I've saw, when she first, when it was found that her what am I am my golly, I cannot speak. When they first found her body, I watched some videos on like whatever, and she was actually claimed missing. Her family actually claimed her as missing. And from what I saw, she didn't really have a good relationship with her parents. It seems like it was like a pretty chaotic kind of not good. I don't want to say toxic because I can't quite really like have evidence on that, but it seemed like it wasn't like a healthy parent and daughter relationship. From what I've seen from the videos, it seemed like there was issues there. So, and it seemed like, I don't know. Yeah. Anyways, that's yeah. Do we see David? Is he on Spotify Rap though? Huh? We need to bring back the belt.
Him throughout the hearing. He nodded whenever the judge said his name, answered it in the affirmative whenever she asked him a question. And at the end of the hearing, when she talked about the fact that he would have to come back at the next hearing, may have to wait, had to be on time, he folded his hands in a prayer-like position. Otherwise, we did not hear from him.
Yeah, this one's going to be interesting. And my thought, as you know, we watch this develop, usually the celebrity isn't the one who wants to get his hands dirty. And the fact they have that heavy charge of first-degree murder against him, I just find that very interesting. Dina, did the prosecution, you talked about the child pornography they found on his digital devices. Did they go into anything further regarding maybe timeline of events, or was that kind of the only thing they touched on as far as substance, evidentiary things regarding this case here?
We got a better idea of the volume of evidence they have collected over these many months, and the fact that they actually convened 3 separate investigative grand juries, one in November, one in December, one in February. The defense is asking for that to be unsealed, and it sounds like that will happen in due course. And then the prosecution saying that the search warrants collected 40 to 50 terabytes of evidence that the robbery and homicide had already tried to transfer that over to defense over these last 4 to 5 weeks, and only about 30% have been transferred. They did say as of tomorrow, the prosecution will hand over to defense more concrete arrest reports, some of the search warrant reports. Also, chemical evidence, DNA evidence, giving us a glimpse to the fact that they perhaps do have DNA and chemical evidence they plan on introducing at trial. The judge made a point of saying to the defense that the defense does not have a statutory right to receive all of this evidence before preliminary hearing, only before the actual trial. And the defense instead, though, does have a right under case law to receive evidence that's favorable and that could help determine
him.
whether or not probable cause exists. This is why there is the April 29th hearing, so the defense can decide whether or not they believe they have enough evidence to defend their client in a speedy preliminary hearing based on the evidence they have gotten so far from.
Imagine you're the you're on David's team for his law or his attorneys or whatever, and the other people just give you all this evidence, and she just said his team will get to decide whether or not they'll be able to take on the case on such a short hearing or whatever. Imagine his attorneys hear all this evidence, they're like, "Fuck this shit, I'm out." Like, there's like, oh, all right, yikers. Like, imagine that would be crazy if they
The
did.
prosecution.
Anyways,
Nadal, our eyes and ears inside that courtroom, thank you so much. We would not have this information without you. I'm sure we'll be doing this again sometime soon. All right, folks, watching along with us this hour, still with us, trial attorney Jessica Lettingham. Jessica, this is a huge one. What are you making of what we just heard? I mean, it seems, you know, we heard DA Nathan Hochman earlier this week. He seemed pretty confident. I keep remembering him saying the totality of evidence. It seems like the prosecution may have a strong case, but we're not far into it yet. The defense may have a great defense pushing back.
I think that the defense has a great defense pushing back. To give some context, they have had this case for almost 6 months. They found the body in the trunk of the car in September, and the medical examiner would not list a cause of death. And then all of a sudden this month, the medical examiner finally states that it was homicide. Well, as a defense attorney, I would grab on that, and I would make sure I could get every single email, text message, anything sent to and from the medical examiner. What made him finally decide that it was conclusively a homicide? And then the arrest is very suspicious. There have been reports that with the arrest, it was actually the police that went ahead and arrested in order to twist the arm of the DA to finally bring charges. So I think the defense attorney is going to have so much to do with here that this is a dream case for a defense attorney.
Absolutely, and you know, it just sounds like there's some disconnect between the different agencies, the DA, the police, the this and the that. Like there's trouble in paradise somewhere with the medical examiner and everything. But I mean, to come out with charges this heavy, I mean, this is no longer probable cause. Now we're talking about first-degree murder with special circumstances plus some additional charges. I mean, how much stronger does a case have to be for prosecutors to take that step, to take it that far? Like, you did this, you know what I mean? This is a first-degree murder to this child, essentially, a 14-year-old.
Well, as I said, I really think that the police strong-armed the defense attorney because, yes, they found a body in the trunk of his car. And it is alleged, and there's a lot of evidence that he had sexual relations with this girl. She kept going missing to hang out with him, and then all of a sudden she doesn't come home. I think that there's a lot of evidence where a jury can reasonably conclude without a reasonable doubt that he did this murder. Again, the defense attorney's job is to put holes in and put reasonable doubt. And the issues with the different agencies, with the medical examiner and with the cops and the district attorney, that is where the defense is going to put all of their eggs in the basket and try to make the jury discount all of the other evidence against David.
Man, Jess, it sounds like you need to be on that defense counsel.
Staring into my soul, bro.
I'm hearing in your voice right now. Jess, let's take a listen to DA Hochman talking about when the victim here was last seen.
On April 23rd, 2025, as been alleged by the complaint, Celeste, a 14-year-old at that time, went to Mr. Burke's house in the Hollywood Hills. She was never heard from again. on September 8th, 2025, as alleged in the complaint. Miss Celeste remains, her dismembered and decomposed remains were found in 2 bags inside of a front trunk of a car registered to Mr. Burke. Thereafter began an investigation. The investigation was to determine who killed, who murdered Celeste months and months before.
And Jess, we're sitting here, we're talking about a child. Again, a child, essentially. A 14-year-old girl dismembered, chopped up, and put in the trunk, the front trunk of
We know what dismembered mean. You don't gotta say chopped up, golly.
Tesla. I mean, with a victim like Celeste
Spare us
Hernandez,
the
only a teenager,
the
I'm sure as this thing
image.
progresses, and if it eventually goes to trial, that age factor is going to play a huge role in kind of amplifying the way a jury sees this defendant here.
Absolutely.
She's staring into my soul, bro. Like, she's staring into my soul, golly.
14. She's not an older teenager, 17, only almost on the cusp of adult. I think their relation.
Oh, and I don't know if you guys know, but when they found her, she was barely 14. So, meaning that they probably met, David and Celeste, they probably met maybe either when she was like 12 or 13. Or even 11. Don't even know how long they've been dating or how long they've been in contact for. I don't know how many years. She was about 11. Okay, yeah. That's yeah. So when they found her body last year, which was in April. Actually, I think today is like exactly 1 year since they found her body or whatever. Um it was like a few days after her birthday. So I think she was killed. Oh, okay, I should not have said killed. I think she was unalived um when she was 13. I don't even think she was 14. Um yeah. So I think yeah. Anyways.
Relationship or whatever their relationship was,
Ugh,
I
I
believe
cannot
it
talk to
began
you
when
about
she
this.
was 13. It's disgusting, and I think the jurors are going to be disgusted. But again, my brain as a defense attorney goes, well, if you had all of this evidence and you're telling me that she's decapitated and in the trunk of his car, why didn't you bring the charges sooner? Why couldn't the medical examiner conclude that it was homicide for 6 months? So even though she's a child and even though you're going to have empathy, that doesn't mean that this was done appropriately. And if I was the defense attorney, I would be taking the same strategy that they took with Karen Reed trial out in Boston, out in Massachusetts, and just try to make it look like a corrupt cop investigation all the way.
Absolutely. And, you know, let's flip the coin a little bit. You know, I've talked to some people about this case, other legal analysts, great minds like you. It's weird that it took 6 or 7 months for this to come. When we got a chopped up girl in a car, I mean, what are we doing here? But, you know, the DA talked about there being no eyewitnesses, no video evidence as to what has happened, you know, clearly seeing what happened, just some good old-fashioned police work. Does that suggest maybe why it took so long? I mean, maybe they waited to file these charges because they were trying to build a more solid, airtight case. Do you see that as a possibility, or maybe the corruption is for real?
I don't know if it's corruption. I think the issue was the medical examiner's report. I think that there's going to be issues with how the medical examiner found the body and what their conclusions were being made. The cops obviously wanted the medical examiner to report homicide. I think they had all the circumstantial evidence they needed to bring it by, but there's something hinky with what the medical examiner saw that wasn't matching the fact that
Hi,
this was a
King.
homicide.
Hi,
And I think
welcome. Hello,
everything is going
hello.
to come down to why the medical examiner didn't want to conclude homicide and what the police said to the medical examiner to make them say it. They can say that it was taking evidence for cell phone all they want. The real issue was the drama going with the medical examiner and the police.
There's always drama somewhere, isn't it? And just, you
We
know,
have lots of drama, you and I, Cody.
always, always. Look, we don't need to air our drama out right now. Just one final question here. You know, we've heard them talk about how critical the digital evidence is going to be, text messages, whatever else, maybe emails
Text
and everything
messages?
else. And we've heard
Sheesh.
David, he's what, 21, 22 years old. We've heard him in prior interviews and his celebrity interviews talking about how the internet was his family. This is a kid, really, who's grown up just fully submerged in tech and internet and all that stuff. It might come back to bite him later on if there's a whole bunch of DNA evidence like D.A. Hockman says. I'm sure that's going to prove critical as this thing moves forward.
Oh, absolutely. And I think that them getting him on the charges of him being with a minor, I think they're going to be able to find. If I had to crystal ball, that is what I would assume. I think the text and the messages between him and this 13, 14-year-old girl, because she aged up during their exchange, I think that is also going to come to bite him. There is going to be a lot of damning evidence against him, and that is why they are bringing a case, because he did, I'm sure, make some mistakes that point towards guilt and of how he was communicating with the victim.
Absolutely. I don't know, Jess. It ain't looking too good. Everyone's innocent until proven guilty, but you got a chopped up, dead teenager in the front of a car registered to you, and then all this DNA evidence, or not DNA, digital evidence that the DA says they have. I don't know. We're going to have to see how it fares out here. Just stand by. Folks, after the
Whew. Oh my good golly. King CJ. Sometimes I play games. I think the one time I played games on stream was like when I did my 24-hour stream, but that was just to kind of like kill time so that I could get through the 24 hours. Um, I don't know if I'll play games again on stream. Who knows? Maybe when I have my food streams, maybe we'll see. Need a smoke break after? Yeah, this is just heavy stuff. Sock, welcome back. I'm so sorry that you can't sleep because of what we watched and saw. But we just saw a little news clip of she's an attorney kind of giving her kind of 2 cents on what could potentially happen or what David's team might try to what's the word use to kind of get get away, I guess. I don't yeah. I can see what she means though. Oh, okay. Okay. Uh, but I can see what they mean about like how why didn't the coroners or the medical whatever, why didn't they right away put this as like a homicide? Why did it take them 6 months to finally put that in? Yeah. And I'm curious. I don't know if you guys know, but I'm just trying to make sure. She was saying that there's drama between like the medical and like the uh police. Is it because like the police people didn't have someone? Is it because like the officers like police people they didn't have anyone arrested for this case that like they were just trying to like get something like get it moved on so that they can finally arrest someone? Is that were like the cops getting breathed down upon where they're like why haven't you like arrested anyone, like why hasn't there been any like movement or anything progress or anything with this case? There's like a literally a dead teenage, I mean, can I say dead? There's an unalive girl, like what's going on? And so then like they were just getting pressed, like you know how on like TV shows where they're just getting pressed and so therefore they went to the medical and then like you know what I mean? Is that what she's trying to imply? They was getting paid. Is that what she was trying to imply with the drama? Is in the sense like, yeah. Interesting. That's just very interesting. Um, I don't know what to watch. Oh my gosh, look at there. Oh, you guys can't really see, but look, there's like a video that I kind of says diagnosed sociopath explains life without empathy and guilt. I kind of want to watch this. Would you guys be down to watch this? But then again, we're kind of on the David case right now, so we can also watch more David stuff, which I'm also fine as well. Um, but it's just it's just wild. It's just wild. I love this kind of stuff. Yeah. um, I'm very passionate about it. It's very interesting. For me, it's interesting just for me, just because I'm just very interested to see how people, um, the thought process. I'm just very intrigued by that. I'm down for whatever. Okay. David, okay, King, I got you. Um, I guess this lady, wait, actually, which one should we watch? Shocking checks images found on David's devices, prosecutors, or David romantic homicide is darker than you think from a defense team lady doing the interpretations. Um, does David think he can't lose body language analysis? What sounds interesting to you guys? Or I mean, we can watch all of them actually. We can just actually watch all of them. But which one first? The way they think. Yeah. Wait, the way they think. Wait, which one do you want? The way they think, which one? Any? Any? Whichever one speaks to you. I kind of want to hear. I say that one. Wait, which one? You say that one. Which one is that one? Okay. Based off views, this one has 425K, so a lot of people are watching that. The next second highest is the body language, and then the 71K. Okay. Um. All right. Let's do the highest view one, and then we'll go from there.
Singer David and his legal team were back in Los Angeles court today, along with a team of LA prosecutors, and our on-the-ground reporter, Dina Dahl, was inside. There are no cameras. She is our eyes and our ears. We're going to talk about what was discussed in court and what authorities said they allegedly found on David's devices, and I will tell you right now, shocking. Welcome to Sidebar, presented by Law and Crime.
Okay.
Block should, and our legal sponsors are seeking calendar. This was more of a status conference. It's a check-in regarding next steps in the case. Now, if you thought that this was going to be a 2-minute hearing and that was it, not the case.
Damn,
no.
he
We
looks
are
rough.
going to get into specifically
Look at the comparison,
what
like,
authorities claim
he
they
looks a little
found
rough there.
on David's devices. I wonder if this is a whole new game here. I wonder if now we're talking potential federal charges, if those allegations are true. I'll get to that. But before we even get into what happened today, I just got to give you some context about this, okay? So we have talked about this before. Remember, when I'm mentioning a preliminary hearing, which I understand has now been scheduled for a later date, this goes back to the idea of the grand jury. We know that there were reports that a grand jury was impaneled to hear evidence in the case of this 21-year-old singer, but there was no grand jury indictment, right? There was no formal charges. No, instead, at the beginning of this week, the Los Angeles County District Attorney, Nathan Hochman, his office filed first-degree murder, continuous sexual abuse of a child under 14, and unlawful mutilation of human remains charges against David in connection with the death of Celeste. Remember, her decomposed and dismembered body was reportedly found September 8th, 2025 in the trunk of a car allegedly registered to David, real name David Anthony Burke. And he's also facing special circumstances allegations, right? Lying in wait, killing for financial gain, killing of a witness, using a sharp instrument, all with respect to the murder charge. And this is significant because this can carry heavier penalties if he's convicted of the murder charge. We're talking life in prison without the possibility of parole. We're talking the death penalty, even though there is a moratorium on executions in California. But this is why it's so significant, why the prosecution believes they have evidence to prove that. And the main idea here is essentially that David allegedly killed Celeste because she was going to expose him potentially about their illegal underage sexual relationship. I think that's the...
Did you guys see the clip of David and that girl and this girl? They were on a live stream, and she made a comment where it's like, oh, like something, they were talking about something controversial, and she's like, oh, what's controversial? Raping children or some shit like that. So she said some comment like that, and then they're like, oh my god, like they're like, okay, we're done with stream, and yeah.
The fair
Anyways.
argument, and that this was going to affect his career, which was on the rise. Remember, he was on tour when all of this happened. Now, as we learned yesterday, when the autopsy report was released, that Celeste's official cause of death was multiple penetrating injuries, and her manner of death was listed as homicide. We did a whole sidebar yesterday with forensics examiner Dr. Mary Jimbelic. It's up on YouTube right now, up on our Long Crime YouTube. You can watch the whole thing. Oh, and by the way, the full autopsy report, if you want to go through the details, if you want to see it for yourself, it's up on our app, Law and Crime Plus, as well, if you want to check it out. I actually think it's significant that we're putting these case files on the app because, look, reports or fake information, this is the official released autopsy report. It's up on Law and Crime Plus, so you can check it out there. But bottom line, David was charged by the DA's office, but in order for this to move forward, in order for this to go to a trial, there has to be a legal determination that there is sufficient probable cause that David committed these crimes to move forward with this case. Again, lower standard, and if it's not by a grand jury, then it needs to be by a judge at a preliminary hearing. And by the way, preliminary hearing is a little bit different than a grand jury because grand jury proceedings are secret. The defense doesn't have an opportunity to challenge that evidence. Preliminary hearing in court, in front of a judge, defense there. They get an opportunity to fight back against this. But anyway, brings us to today. This courthouse in downtown LA. By the way, just talking about a preliminary hearing for a second, David's attorneys, his defense attorneys pushed for a preliminary hearing immediately. They have said that he didn't commit this murder. They have said that he was not the cause of her death. But what happened today? Now look, there were no cameras in the courtroom. The good news, we have our own eyes and ears, okay? We have our own eyes and ears. Attorney and legal analyst Dina Dahl was in that courtroom. So good to see you, Dina. Thanks for taking the time. First of all,
welcome
I
back.
need you to clarify what this hearing was because I think a lot of us thought this was going to be the preliminary hearing. We thought that was on the calendar. That was not the case, even though they did talk about when the preliminary hearing is going to be scheduled, right?
Absolutely. It was calendared as a preliminary hearing, but the judge at the outset said, I'm sure that's not actually going to start today. Let's talk about it. And that's exactly what they did, scheduling it. And most importantly, talking about the discovery, the transferring of what seems to be a mountain of evidence from the prosecution to the defense and the logistics of how that's going to happen.
And I want to get into that because quite the headline, what was allegedly found on either David's phone or his devices, which we'll get to. But the preliminary hearing is scheduled for next week, right? And is this because there's just, like you said, there's so much evidence to go through, there's so much data to go through?
Well, this is significant. They have not waived their right to a speedy preliminary hearing. The very last day it could be under law was May 4th. But the judge said, I don't like to schedule it that last day because there could be unexpected circumstances just for the court system in general. So they have scheduled it for May 1st. But significantly, they will all be back in front of the judge the afternoon of April 29th in order for the defense to determine whether or not the prosecution has handed over enough evidence where they think they can properly defend their client at the hearing. The judge making a point that although statutory law requires the prosecution to hand over everything prior to trial, they are not required to do that for a preliminary hearing. They just have to hand over sufficient evidence that is most favorable to the defendant in order to prove probable cause. So that afternoon of April 29th, the defense will determine if they think they have enough evidence to continue with this speedy preliminary hearing.
Dina, let me ask you this. The autopsy report that came out yesterday, is that a reason why we didn't have a preliminary hearing today? Did they talk about that? Because there's a lot in that report. That's the official cause of death. We know the defense has said that David is not the cause of death. Did that come up today?
That did not come up. As they really spoke about the fact that they have a wide range of evidence that the defense has not getting. Specifically, they actually highlighted the fact that they have a significant amount of child pornography on his iPhone, but they did not get into the specifics of the medical examiner's report.
Okay, so talk to me about the big bombshell. Apparently they found what, or allegedly found what, on David's devices?
So she said the words, the prosecution said, a significant amount of child pornography. And she raised this saying it is going to be different. You cannot hand over that type of evidence to the defense as you would the rest of the evidence. The defense has to instead have somebody, a counsel or an expert, go to the county and actually look at a determined computer to look at this because of the sensitive nature of that evidence. The prosecution
it's okay.
also
Don't worry,
highlighted
Alberto.
the
You're good.
amount of this evidence and evidence on the data and the cell phone in general because of the difficulty and how long it takes to hand and transfer over this kind of amount of evidence.
Okay, put your legal cap on. Are we talking potential federal charges? You and I both know that if someone is caught with allegedly child sexual abuse material on their devices, that could be federal charges.
That's a really great point. And it's very possible federal charges may come. At this point, though, it definitely is relevant and probative to one of the three charges. There are three charges against him: murder, continuous child sex abuse, and mutilation of a corpse. So this specific child pornography evidence is definitely going to be used by prosecution for that continuous child sexual abuse. But whether or not the federal prosecutors decide to add charges, we will wait and see.
Just want to clarify, any idea who was portrayed in these, you know, this footage, these videos, this data on his phone? Is it Celeste? Is it someone else? Did prosecutors acknowledge that? And let me be clear. Allegedly on his phone. Did they say the identity of this person or persons?
They did not say the identity, but even that specific phrase, you know, the press, there was a ton of press in the courtroom. Everybody had their laptops out.
That is a... Hi, baby. That is a good point. Okay, this whole time when they're saying they found a lot of child porn on his phone, I thought it was like, you know, like something he just watched or something like that. But I didn't realize what that could potentially mean, as in like videos of like him and her. Is that what they're saying? Like, are they saying like it's videos of like like them? This whole time I thought it was just random child porn that he just, I don't know, saved on his phone or something like that. Oh my gosh. Apparently it might not be back till 11. Oh, Snapples. Oh. He probably has on his phone too. Oh my gosh, I literally, it just clicked in my head that when they said child corn, it meant like him recording him and her probably like doing it, or oh my gosh, oh my gosh, I did not think that they could be referring to David and oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
Taking notes, and you just heard the chatter of the typing. Just the phrase significant amount of child pornography was enough to raise flags about what may become in this trial.
What about, I read there was something about a wiretap and search warrants?
Exactly. They said that there was a significant amount of evidence collected in a wiretap. There was also 3 different investigative grand juries, one convened in November, one in December, and one in February. The prosecution really trying to convey to the judge how much evidence they have and the difficulty of it
not
to be
all
able
guys
to
are
be
like
transferred
that.
to the
I
defense
will say not
quickly.
all
They did
guys
say,
are like
however,
that.
that they plan on handing the defense tomorrow arrest records, photographic evidence, chemical evidence reports, and DNA evidence
Chemical
reports.
DNA.
Wait a second. Let's just take a step back here. We were debating whether or not there was a grand jury that was going to be investigating this case, right? Locking in witness testimony, gathering evidence, that they didn't have the power to indict. That was one thing. Now we're learning there were multiple grand juries that were all in this investigative function. Not one of them had the power to indict.
That's what came out today. The prosecution said specifically investigative grand juries without the power to indict. And they said it was up to the defense to request that these records be unsealed.
And the latest grand jury was what, February?
That's what they said. February was the latest one.
What was the vibe in that courtroom? Let's start here. What did David look like?
So when David came in, he was in his orange jumpsuit. He sat down. His attorney, Blair Book, immediately put her hand on his shoulder. Every time she conferred with her client, she in fact put her hand on his shoulder.
Oh, it's okay, Alberto. I mean, probably will end stream around like
if he asked her a question, he answered in the affirmative.
so.
At the very end, when she was explaining the process of how he's going to be brought back to the hearing and how he may have to wait but make sure he's on time, he folded his hands in a prayer position. But otherwise, he was just quietly listening to the proceedings and listening to his lawyers speak on his behalf.
And what about for the prosecution? Who was there?
The prosecution, they had their attorneys. Interestingly, there were 2 young girls sitting next to the investigators. They were not referenced. They were not conferred with. We know that the Hernandez family said in advance they did not plan on attending the hearing, so it's unclear who those girls were.
I just want to be clear about something. There have been rumors, there has been speculation that David has allegedly, hasn't been charged, but allegedly maybe been involved with other minors. Is there anything to indicate that those, and I want to make sure your terminology is correct, you're saying they were children, they're not women, they appear to be children, were there? Is that somehow connected to other people that might allegedly be in David's orbit?
You do wonder, they looked, I mean, of course I did not have their identification, but they looked young. I would say in that range of what Celeste was, 13, 14, 15. Definitely they looked less than 18.
And so was there anybody there for Celeste's side, as far as you can tell?
I could not tell if there was, and there was an announcement by the family that they were not planning on coming today.
What about anybody there in support of David?
It's always unclear because this was a hearing that so many people went to attend. Every single seat was taken. There were people behind the defense table that did not look like press. They did not have the press credentials. They didn't have their laptop and typing. But whether or not they were members of the public or supporters of David is unclear.
Mm-hmm. And you're saying it was packed. There was a lot of media. Is this one of those cases where you think it's getting a lot of attention just from people online, streamers? Like, I understand there was even a long line to get in to court today.
Absolutely. This, here we're in Los Angeles. It's no stranger to high-profile cases, and the press showed up. There was a line to get in. Literally every single seat in that courtroom was taken. The press cameras were lined up outside waiting for a press going to be heavily watched. There was actually at the very end of the hearing a representative from the news organization asking the judge to reconsider her denial of allowing cameras in the courtroom, reiterating that the judges here seem to have kind of learned the lesson after the OJ case to not allow cameras, and that after so many years, perhaps the OJ case, afraid of letting in cameras, needs to go away, and saying how the public pays for this building and should allow cameras in, but the judge denied it. There will not be cameras allowed in this next hearing or if a trial moves forward.
Wow,
Thanks for
no
trying.
cameras
Thanks for
in the
trying to that
preliminary hearing.
person.
I think that's a mistake.
She was speaking for all of us. Be like, let us have the cameras in here. Let us, please. She tried.
Particularly in a case like this, since there's so much speculation, so much rumors. This is a front row to seeing what the evidence is, what evidence the prosecution believes they have. Do they have sufficient probable cause to support these charges? I think that this is one of those cases where the public has a right to view and should view what the evidence is. Which, by the way, let me go back to you, Dean, on this. This is both a legal question for you and a reporter question. I have been curious after I heard Nathan Hochman the other day. What is the evidence they have to prove lying in wait? that he allegedly killed Celeste because she was a witness to a case or an investigation, that he allegedly killed her for financial gain. The basic idea here is she was going to allegedly expose him for this illegal sexual relationship, right? Did you get any sense today about what that evidence will be?
No, and I'm glad you brought that point, because to me that is, in a way, a very strange motive. Because here the prosecution is alleging that he killed her in order to cover up the crime of his child's sex abuse. But yet he kept the body in his car for months. So he did a very bad job of then disposing of the evidence, you would say. The prosecution needs to explain something like that. But what we did here today is, in this digital age, there is a mountain of digital evidence. Obviously, with 3 grand juries, they have quite a bit of witness testimony.
Jury
they have
duty
the
on this
wiretap
case.
evidence, which we didn't know about.
I will
DNA,
I will
chemical,
go.
sure, video surveillance. But that theory of the case strikes me as very strange as an attorney. And perhaps the prosecution has an explanation. I mean, the prosecution said today that, quote, we're ready to go to trial. They would be happy for the defense to waive their right to a speedy trial. But they do have to explain that contradiction in the motive and the lack of disposing of the evidence.
Let me follow up on something. We don't know for sure that her dismembered, decomposed body was in the car from April to September, right? Did you learn something different?
No, we do not. It's more of that. You and I talk about a lot of true crime cases. You would, if the idea is that somebody is trying to cover up another crime and goes to such lengths as to commit murder, you would think they would do a better job of disposing of the evidence in the murder crime.
Let me ask you this.
That's what I do am kind of thinking, is just like, she died around April time, but the body wasn't found until September. So, like, he just left her body in the car for what, 5 months? It's just, yeah, and it's like, why leave it in his car? Like, that's just very sussy baka. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, it would definitely just, like, why under your, like, the car's under your name. So I'm just kind of just very like, what? I don't know. Like, I don't know. Because then he just did a very poor job of just trying to hide it. Or like, yeah, I don't even know.
Anything about potential cooperating witnesses? Did any specific names come up? You talk about the connective tissue. There have always been a lot of players that have come up in this case, allegations about who might have testified in front of a grand jury or a hearing. Did you hear any name, any potential cooperating witness?
We heard no names whatsoever. And in fact, the prosecution did not give a glimmer as to what happened in that grand jury, saying this is secret. It can only be unsealed by a motion from the defense.
Okay, interesting for a status conference here. I'm very curious to see what happens with the preliminary hearing. Before I let you go, any idea of where the defense is going? When they say he's not the cause of death, do they have an idea that they're going to be introducing their own forensic expert, or they're going to be casting doubt on that? Perhaps she didn't die from multiple penetrating injuries, that it was caused by something else, or is this too early?
It was too early. They really were focusing on basically telling the judge they didn't have enough evidence, that their defendant, because he was waiving his right to a speedy preliminary trial, had a right to receive some evidence, and they really hadn't received enough from the prosecution. That was really what they were asking for the judge. The judge being sympathetic, the prosecution saying they're planning on cooperate. They're going to meet at the end of April 29th, determine if they have enough. If the preliminary hearing goes forward, prosecution says they expect it to last about 4 to 5 days.
Okay, interesting. All right, we shall see. Dina Dahl, thank you for coming in. Thank you for taking the time. Thank you for covering for us.
Thanks for having me.
And that's all we have for you right now here on Sidebar, everybody.
Thank you very much. Okay, let's go into this one. This is the next
90s
one.
baby, so I hear all the time. Every
This
commercial.
is this lady's
bundle and save. And I was like, I'm an adult.
Hey guys, Lisa Figueroa here, board certified criminal defense attorney in Florida, here to talk to you about David, to react to one of his songs or interviews, because tomorrow, as you may have heard, is his preliminary hearing. That's the opportunity for the prosecution to lay out their case and show the evidence that they believe is the reason why he should not be granted any kind of pretrial release and why he is guilty of the accused homicide. And ironically, he has a song that was called Romantic Homicide. Let's see what it's all about. I have no idea. I have not heard any of his songs before today.
Hello, my name is David. Pronounced David, not D4VD. I'm from Queens, New York. I'm in Houston now. I am a gamer.
Queens, New York, Marisol. He's pretty close to your area.
I love
Well, I
games.
mean,
Be a professional.
but then he moved to Alberta.
Gamer before music. That's actually what pushed me into music, was getting copyright strikes on YouTube, and I kind of just used my own music in my montages after my mom told me to. I was crying to her about it, and now we're here.
I'm about to get a copyright strike for playing this. Well, not a strike, but copyright.
So how I created Romantic Homicide is basically like every other song in my sister's closet with the Apple earbuds and an app called BandLab on my phone, just going through instrumentals and letting them tell me what needs to be said on them, and basically just going from there. And then I write to contextualize the stories that I tell. I'm scared. It feels like you don't care. Enlighten me, my dear. Why am I still here? I don't mean to be complacent with the decisions you made, but why?
Okay, I don't know that I'm following what's happening here, but it sounds rather bland, uneventful. I don't know. Nothing's happening. Creepy?
Creepy?
Melancholy? I don't know. Maybe without the music, this acapella is just not the same vibe. I don't know. Let's see if it gets any kind of, but he seems otherwise like a normal anything. So far, nothing sounds like it can be used in a case.
So Lightning My Dear is my favorite line because you can take so many different meanings out of it, and it's an emotion in itself. Everything has a meaning behind it. I think that's what poetry is. It's like an interpretation, and another person can read the same thing and take something else out of it and find new things
Oh
every
my
time.
gosh,
So I think that's
imagine the prosecutor team, they're just going through all his interviews, all his interviews and just using anything they can just
an
whoa.
important part of my process is definitely the poetry aspect of it. And all of my songs I think are poetry. I started writing as long as I can remember, like seeing graphic novels and Japanese manga and like taking those stories and being like, imagine if this rhymed. In the back of my mind, you died, and I didn't even cry. No, not a single tear. And I'm sick of waiting patiently for someone that won't even arrive.
Okay. I don't know. Yeah, I guess maybe that song didn't age well given what ends up happening. So I don't know. Like, why would you write a song?
She said, well, that song didn't age well.
We go back
No,
to the
it did
whole kind of
not.
like Murder on My Mind, Melly thing. What are we doing? In the back of my mind, you died.
She said murder on my mind. She just referred the song from who sang it? Melly? Was it Melly Kelly? Like murder on my mind. I mean, it's
In
funny.
the front of my car, in the back of my trunk. Like, it's and then waiting patiently, sick of waiting patiently. Part of the prosecution's argument is that he's waiting for her, or is he waiting for her to be age appropriate? I don't know. And maybe it has nothing to do with her, right? My defense attorney hat always goes on, and I'm like, okay, maybe this has nothing to do with it. When was it written? Who wrote it? Like you said, it's poetry. Do we have to listen to all this? This is torture. It's like, I was like, it's only 4 minutes, but this feels like 40. Anyway, apparently the song actually came out in September of 2022, which was literally 3 years before they found her body. And so presumably before she was killed. So I don't know.
She's so uncomfortable with his acapella.
So what inspired the hook, In the Back of My Mind You Died, is kind of like the storytelling aspect of the lyrics that came before it, in a way that it builds up to the big moment where she died in the back of my mind. Like, I didn't kill her physically, but in the back of my mind, she died.
Like, why did he have to go, I didn't kill her physically? Like,
Why are we even making a song about anyone in the back of my mind dying? Like, what is that all about? Oh, it's like some things don't need to be said. I think that everyone is entitled to thinking things. I don't think you should be punished or guilty for your thoughts.
I think so.
There's a pretty famous psychologist that talks about kind of how your thought process that sometimes people have, and I remember hearing them say, "You want me to say what you said?" No, I mean, anyways, they talk about how we have thoughts. Like, you're not responsible for the crazy thoughts that might cross your head, that cross your mind. That anyone is capable of having these thoughts. The problem is when you act on them. And he gave this whole explanation and neuroscience and blah, 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 why it's okay. And I remember walking through the grocery store and my son randomly said something like, yeah, I can't believe it. Like, he felt so guilty because he had this, we walked past some hands or something, and he thought, oh, I feel like taking that and just smacking someone on the head with it. And then he felt so bad. He felt so bad that he even thought that. And like, what kind of person am I? And I'm like, actually, I heard this thing that it's not.
Again, just talking about intrusive thoughts.
Bad would be that you did it. Bad would be that you act on these random crazy thoughts. Like, sometimes we can. And like dreams, in your dream, you definitely can't control the random stuff that comes up in your dreams, right? So all of that is fine as long as you don't act on it. Now, did he act on it? Was it just in the back of his mind? Maybe somebody else did it. I mean, and again, flash forward to the fact that his defense attorneys are adamant that he was not responsible for.
What if this is just a conspiracy, or what if? Have you guys seen like those crime shows of like serial killers having fans? And so then the fans will carry out the murders as like a homage to the serial killer. Have you guys seen that, where like some serial killers have like a fan base, and so like they'll be like copycatters? If you guys know what I'm talking about. So hear me out. What if someone, a really 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 like major fan of David, heard his songs and like loved him so much that they acted out his, I don't even want to say fantasy because it's just gross, but acted out basically everything that he said or his music videos, like basically did it. You know what I mean? Like yeah. So it's like what if again, it's just me thinking. But what if that would just be like, and the thing is, we lived in a pretty messed up world that I wouldn't be surprised that if that was a, like, could be a possibility of someone actually like doing that. And it just gives me the chills thinking about that, cuz like so like oh my gosh. Yeah. I mean, again, I don't know about the evidence, like yeah, we definitely got to see what evidence they have. They did say DNA or chemicals, so I'm very, if it points to him, then yeah. But I'm just saying, like, I just had a thought where it's like, what if like one of his super super major duper duper fans just
for the death. So they are holding on to that. That's my story and we're sticking to it. They're saying he did not cause her death. He did not murder her. Now, did he see it? Did he watch it? Did he know? Did he find her after? We'll see what they say tomorrow. But
and I didn't even cry, not a single tear. I've seen people online take different meanings and interpretations from that one part of the song where it's like it's their past selves that's dying, and they're not even crying about it because they've evolved, they become better people, or have killed addictions and other different stuff like that. So I think it's very powerful in that way too.
In the back of my mind, I killed you.
oh my god.
she's like, yeah, this is not age well. Like, this did not age well at all. Um, like, it doesn't matter how the relationship with her and her parents are. Like, how do you, as a mom, let your daughter just leave the
That's dumb. What in the world? This one, and then this interview was still 3 years ago.
Luigi fans?
And it's a romantic homicide. Guess it would have been better if it was not romantic, because then now the allegation is there was some sort of romantic relationship between him and Celeste Rivas. So, yeah, not a good look. And I don't know, those of you who watched the Melly trial the first time around, I don't think that they used murder on my mind in that trial, but I did hear that the prosecution has taken a different stance this time and might be trying to use some of his lyrics. And then the question becomes, if it's old, even in Dirk's music, everyone says, well, that's old, so why should something be used if the murder hadn't happened yet? But when it's premeditated or some sort of planned murder, it would be before, right? If I'm planning on killing somebody and I do a song and then I'm gonna kill him later, like, of course it's before because I hadn't done it yet. Still in the back of his mind. But anyways, but it's that's where the premeditation comes, right? That's gonna be the prosecutor's argument. So you've been planning it since this, or you've been stewing on it in the back of your mind, and then finally you did it. So when the defense tries to argue, no, I didn't, I would never think of something like that. Boom, they open the door to this coming right in.
And I didn't even regret it.
I see.
I can't believe I said it.
That's true.
Me either.
That does.
But it's true. I hate you.
I wanted you to feel the emotion in this part of the song.
Oh my goodness, yeah, I felt it. What in the world?
Not just to repeat the hook, but to say it in a different manner with the same feeling that the first part of it conveyed, which was in the back of my mind, but then you think that I'm gonna say you died, but I say I killed you. So it's not like the thought of her is gone by itself was something that she did, it was something that I decided to do, and I killed her in the back of my mind. But it's really more of a figurative I killed you, especially in the back of my mind. I try to stress that in the back of my mind. That's why I say it so loud. In the back of my mind, you died. In the back of my mind, I killed you.
Yeah, you're saying it over and over and over and over again, like, in the back of my mind. I didn't actually kill her. Figuratively. In the back of my mind. It's sounding like he's saying it too much to the point where it's like,
so it's all
I
in
didn't
your
do
mind,
it.
because that's the most secure place you can be is in your mind. So if you can expel that thought from your mind, then everything else will just come together. Puzzle pieces will just align.
Yeah, I don't know. Figuratively, in the back of his mind.
So if you can expel that thought from your mind, then everything else will just come together. Puzzle pieces will just align.
I think the puzzle pieces are going to align for the prosecutor when they take his words here and say, yeah.
I don't know why I think her commentary is kind of funny. Anyways, they're going to play the exact video in court. Yeah, they're gonna be like, so David Burke, explain here these lyrics that you take two, part two. Your interpretations again of these lyrics. Because what we're hearing here is that you've had thoughts about, killing, even though it's in the back of your mind, so premeditated, da 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 da. Doesn't know anything. Follow my exes, like, bro, why are you in her business also? Bruh. Okay, body language analysis.
Hey everybody, Dr. G here. I'm a clinical and forensic psychologist as well as a body language expert, and today we're going to be analyzing the behavior and body language of David Burke. Before we get started with this, a couple of quick things. One, I wanted to make sure you know this is not a psychological evaluation of any kind. These are just my opinions. In addition to that, I do want to remind you to like and subscribe if you want to see more content. Just like months that we look for, we're going to be looking at his behavior and his body language. All right, let's just jump right in.
Is that again, there are 3 sets of charges that have been brought. The first-degree murder with special circumstances.
The implication that if they're charging with this, they must have some very interesting evidence because they are very, very specific.
That Celeste went to Mr. Burke's home on the night of April 23rd, 2020.
To his place with the specific intention of murder.
And again, was not heard from again. The second is a special circumstance being that this murder was committed for financial gain. As the evidence will show in court,
financial gain?
The financial gain was for Mr. Burke to maintain his very lucrative musical career.
The financial gain piece, I think, can be confusing because it's not that he would get money from her. The idea is preventing himself from losing money. So in other words, if he can silence her, then she won't be able to expose him. Or point being is that they're suggesting that they have enough evidence to prove that that's why this was done, that he invited her over and then did it for this reason.
That Celeste was threatening.
Imagine, like, the actual reason was just because he wanted to just act out his fantasy, not the whole. Anyways.
On that particular night. The third
Part 2 jail audition for real.
And for financial gain is murdering a witness to an investigation.
And what this would imply is that because of Celeste's age, that there was an investigation related to that. So this would have stopped that investigation. So these charges are very, very serious. They're also, this case has been very strange. Now that we've talked about the special circumstances so you can better understand the case that's being made, now let's look at David in court.
Attorney Batstillman, people, Your Honor. Thank you.
So the
I
first thing you
thought
may be
they
noticing
said
is that
no
he looks
cameras.
Deputy District Attorney Batstillman, people, Your Honor. Thank you.
So the first thing you may be noticing is that he looks remarkably calm. There's different areas that I'm always looking at in situations like this. The brow, we're looking at the blink rate, we're looking at the mouth. And right now, he's looking around at who's speaking, but otherwise appears very, very calm.
And counsel, on behalf of your client, do you waive formal reading of the complaint, advisement of rights, including armed forces?
Now you notice that head position he just moved to.
Client, do you waive formal reading of the complaint, advisement?
So what we can see is that he turns his chin up and that exposes his neck. Now typically we associate that with someone who doesn't feel threatened. They look at the situation, they feel like they're above it in a sense. They're willing to turn their nose up to the situation, so to speak, because unconsciously we tend to protect ourselves when we feel threatened. So what this says right here is that he's...
Is that true? That when we feel threatened, we will keep our head and chin protected inwards? I'm intrigued now. I'm intrigued now about the body language, if that's what we subconsciously do when we feel threatened. And if we don't feel threatened, okay, maybe I can see, like, not feeling threatened, you would lift up your, sell to people who wants to use on it. So how does this dude speak that fast, or did you? Oh, I sped up the videos. I put them all on like 1.5 speed. Sorry. Is it just me who does that? Can you guys still understand though? Is it okay? All the videos that we've been watching, they're all been like 1.5. I put it to 1.5 speed. No, he didn't see. I put the speed up.
Rights, including armed forces and veterans' rights, and her plea of not guilty, denying any and all special allegations, enhancements, and prior.
The two, fast stack. Well, with two times, I was scared that was gonna be too much, but with 2 times, sometimes I can't understand too much, so that's why like 1.5 is like enough, I guess. But yeah, no, I get you though, past stack. Okay, I'm glad I'm not the only one.
Yes, Your Honor.
Because it's like, instead of spending like 30 minutes watching a video, it would be 15 minutes. I think that's the calculations, right? 15 minutes, so that's mean I can actually watch 2 videos instead of 1 video that's 30 minutes. I can watch 2 videos that's 30 minutes. You know what I mean?
You're requesting a preliminary hearing within the period? Yes, Your Honor. From the media reports, apparently there have been
the auctions.
Secret grand jury proceedings.
He's so calm it almost appears cold because you're seeing no emotion on the face at all. Not even really seeing stress right here.
Apparently there have been 4 months of secret grand jury proceedings.
As a forensic psychologist, I'm trained to spot blind spots, the details that you can miss that change the whole story. The news has blind spots too, and ground news can help you see them. Critical bias of each out disproportionately covered appeals. Courts must be getting traction on the right. Air strikes. Obviously a problem. You can see headlines from left-leaning self. If you want to start spotting your that's ground.news.
Will show David Burke did not murder Celeste Rivas Hernandez, nor was he the cause of her death. And we would like...
Now we're seeing the blink rate pick up a little bit. As she's saying that David was not the cause of her death, watch his eyes right here.
Rivas Hernandez, nor was he the cause of her death. And we would like...
Okay, he blinked.
have the evidence come into the light of day at the earliest
like
opportunity.
And as
few
you can see, as
times.
his attorney was saying that, for a moment there, he looks over at the judge, and that way he wants to see the reaction of the judge based on what's being said. We do that as a way to gauge how everybody's feeling. Doesn't imply guilt or innocence, but it means that he's very aware of how everybody in the room feels, particularly when this is being talked about.
To have the evidence come into the light of day at the earliest opportunity in order to establish that. We're asking for...
You saw the head nod. He looks fairly calm when he's doing this. The one thing we're seeing that applies any degree of stress is that his blink rate is picking up some. But aside from that, everything is slow, it's calm. He seems fairly methodical with all of the choices that he's making body language-wise.
Earliest opportunity in order to establish that. We're asking for April 23rd as a 3 of 10, Your Honor. Anything from the people?
We'll be very happy to put on the evidence that we collected in this case in the last several months.
Thank you.
So I talked about putting our chin up. She seems very confident as well. So right now we're seeing two sides that are both very confident in their cases.
Case in the last several months. Thank you.
Oh, she's like, yeah, we'd be very happy to present our. Oh my gosh, Luz, you scared me. Oh my gosh, he knows how to open doors sometimes if it's not closed all the way. Scares me. But she's like, we will be happy to show you the evidence. Say less. That's the tooth that she's giving. She's like, say less. We will be happy to show you the evidence.
Department 105, the matters ordered assigned to Judge Charlene Almeida.
This is a very casual way of saying yes. It's basically saying, yeah, that's fine. And it's a very casual way of doing that. We typically don't do that when we're feeling stressed. So he is remarkably calm under the circumstances.
I know, we're analyzing this too. Wait, what happened? I might do that though. Wait, what? um.
In Department 105, the matters ordered assigned to Judge Charlene Almeida in Department 105 for all purposes by the judge of the supervising judge of criminal. Yes, Your Honor. If I may just put on the record, we have, as soon as the people arrive,
Still standing with the chin up. We're still seeing that feeling of confidence right now.
delivered a informal discovery request consistent with Penal Code Section 1054.
The blink rate picks up again. Once they start talking about discovery, you're seeing the blink rate pick up. That's really the only body language he's giving us. And even though that implies some stress, he still remains remarkably calm, almost cold.
The coroner's report was sealed in this case in order to prevent it from hampering truthful testimony from witnesses that testified at the grand jury. So an order will also have to be obtained in order to get the coroner's department, which is now the medical examiner's department, to release those materials.
Your Honor, it's surprising news given the District Attorney's Office held a press conference this morning where they discussed the...
So what you're seeing is that after that was said, you saw him lick his lips, and we do that when we're feeling stressed. Our mouth starts to dry out. We do tend to lick.
Do I lick my lips when I'm stressed? I don't be doing that when I'm stressed. I don't think I do that. I don't think I lick my lips when I'm stressed. Do y'all lick your lips when you're stressed? Do a little licking your lips and a little biting the lips? No, I don't be doing that when I'm stressed. What happened? Oh, yay! I'm glad your power's back on, Alberto. Yay! It's chilly and rainy here. Ooh, yeah, it's kind of a bit windy over here. It's a bit windy.
Lick our lips. But he's doing it very slowly, which implies that even though there's some stress, he has it fairly well managed. This is
I don't know if that's stress. But okay, sir.
not a ton of stress for him. He is able to shut down a lot of emotions, it seems like.
I just feel like maybe his lips are just dry, you know? He's just been standing there, so maybe he just licked his lip a little bit just because it's a little bit dry. Like, sometimes I lick my lips because it's dry.
The Attorney's Office held a press conference this morning where they discussed the cause of death.
You can see how slow and controlled his behavior is.
Apparently under seal and not released by the coroner's office, as did the robbery homicide unit to the press. So we would again reiterate, we believe that Mr. Burke is entitled to discovery.
You can see the casual way that he nodded at his attorney. You can see the slow way that he's moving. He is extremely confident in what his attorneys are doing. I think that he believes his attorneys will ultimately get him off from this. I do not think that he believes he'll be convicted of this crime because we're seeing an extreme amount of confidence right now. And just to be clear, that has nothing to do with whether or not he's guilty. That has to do with whether or not he believes he will be convicted. And based on everything we're seeing right now, he seems very confident given the fact that this is a disposition hearing where he pleads guilty or not guilty, just pled not guilty. Seems very calm about the whole thing.
We have served the people with notice. They have 15 days to produce.
You can see the chin just keeps going up. That feeling of not feeling threatened to feeling confident just keeps getting bigger and bigger.
Discovery in this case, we would ask that they do that in conscientious earnestness and as quickly as possible. Report in this case, forthwith.
Thank you.
The matter sent in Department 105, as the court indicated, April 23rd, 2026.
That was interesting. So after they said that the medical examiner is going to release the report in this case, you see him look down. That's a chance for him to process, to disengage from everybody for a second and think about what was just said.
Release the report in this case, forthwith. Thank you. The matter sent in department.
All right, let's go and wrap things up here. Hopefully this is helping you better understand some of the behavior and body language that we saw today. Now, this is a strange case. We're seeing things about this case that are unusual. The way that charges are being brought is somewhat unusual. The level of specificity about what they're already saying they believe happened, the special circumstances. There are many aspects of this case that are not necessarily what you would expect, and it took so long for the arrest to occur. I'm very curious what evidence they have collected since then. So based on what law enforcement said, they seem to believe that they have a strong case against him. However, David's body language seems to suggest that he doesn't believe that this is going to go anywhere. We saw stress at times when certain subjects came up, but overall, his demeanor was very calm. He was collected. Overall,
All right, sir. Thank you for your input. I'll take that with a grain of salt. Don't know about that. But anyways, new David timeline proves when he planned murder. Stressing me out. I'm dead. Okay, this is a pretty recent one.
Every single day, we're digging deeper into the David case, and every day the timeline just seems to get more and more sordid. I did a big update for you guys where I did a full breakdown of the new timeline that private investigator Steve Fisher put out there. We filled in a few of the gaps and really built up a very terrifying picture of what was going on in between the alleged murder and the dismemberment. It seemed like there were a lot of promotional activities. David flew out to play shows while the body was, I guess, in some people's opinion, still in his house, could have already been in the car. It looks like he came back from shows to chop up the body. It's insane. But what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to break down the timeline again, but from a different perspective, because in this video, we're going to look closer at the timeline as far as how long did David actually plan this murder. Yes, we now know that he's been charged with murder. It seems to be that there are official allegations that he was in a relationship with this underage minor, Celeste. We can deduce that from a lot of the information we've seen around, but now we have officially got it from the authorities that that's what was going on. But it makes you wonder, when did he plan to kill her? A lot of theories that have been going around is that actually their relationship ended around like September, October 2024. Maybe they were broken up for a few weeks and David might have reconnected. There might have been some threats. Allegedly, one of the special conditions of the charges is that David murdered a witness to an investigation. That investigation was an investigation into David messing with minors. So he had a motive to take her out. He wanted to protect his lucrative music career. But the question is, when did it happen? He was accused of lying in wait, setting up a trap, inviting her to the crib, and then ambushing her and murdering her. But when did the decision made for him to actually kill her? I don't know for sure, but in this video, we will basically be taking a closer look and trying to get to the bottom and looking at some theories as to when actually he planned to do this horrible, horrible thing. So as you can see here from the criminal complaint, okay, it basically gives a couple of clues that I think are really interesting.
Wait,
because
what's going
very,
on?
very interesting
What's
about
going
this
on in
breakdown is that essentially, you know, it says the period of continual essay to this minor occurred on or between September 7th, 2024 and September 7th, 2023 and 2024.
One
That's
year.
her birthday, interestingly enough. And there were rumors that he'd actually first met her on her birthday, I think perhaps potentially the year before. But it seems to suggest that perhaps their relationship ended after her birthday in 2024. Now, I don't know for sure, but I do think that this date, the fact that it isn't on or between September 7th, 2023, all the way up to April 20th or 23rd, 2025, that makes me think that perhaps there is some proof that the relationship actually ended. But even more dark, the plot to murder her must have occurred sometime from September 8th to April 2023, and we need to get to the bottom of exactly when this plan was made. So an alleged Discord message has been circulating from somebody claiming to know Celeste, and basically claiming the two were actually no longer together in December of 2024. So this is a very interesting Discord message. It says, last time me and Celeste talked, she was drunk and spam calling David. What's going on with that?
Ay, drunk. She's a minor.
Spam calling David. They have matching tattoos from when they dated. David.
But I mean, I know that like people drink young, but gah.
He used to have pictures of her up on his Instagram, but after they broke up, he took it off. Only thing throwing me off is the age. I'm just going to assume she lied about her age to everyone in our friend group back then, because they did date, and then 2 days after that call with me and her, she deleted her whole account. Pictures too also looks just like her. No way it's not.
Oh, good night, Urges. Good night, good night. Thanks for being here.
It doesn't make sense, okay? People saying it gets to a point with coincidences. Now, I think that's very interesting, and it's clear that the breakup took place. Now, here's where I think that there is a very, very good case to make for David doing a cover-up and David planning this murder and basically not being pushed because he made this decision himself and it's disgusting, allegedly. But as far as the circumstances that begun to brew where he felt like the only way out of this was murder, okay? And it's not acceptable, but I'm just trying to make you understand how this depraved PDF murderer might have been thinking. So, it's saying if they broke up, all right, they were together, she was drunk calling, they broke up, all right, and they're basically saying that that would have been the December. Now, this is when we get to this infamous image. Now, I believe it's believed that this picture was taken around December the 14th, 2025. This is the image that allegedly shows David paying off other kids that knew Celeste. It says, this was the pic bro showed me, I'm not capping. That is David in a parking lot in Lake Elsinore. It's been geolocated. He's literally handing money over to kids, allegedly, for them to stay silent. Now, I wonder if this is a situation where they broke up, he needed to keep this a secret for his career, he had loose ends, he's doing anything he could to try and make this go away, he's paying off friends. If that didn't work, after this December link-up, that's when he might have decided to murder her. He might have actually crafted a whole narrative of bringing her back, getting her comfortable, and then murdering her, because we saw them together on New Year's Eve. 2024 going into 2025, but this was just a few weeks before. So if they're broken up in December and she's deleting all of her Instagram, then he's pulling up to Lake Elsinore in his Tesla, handing out money to these teens that know stuff about it. It's not adding up, right? It's not making too much sense. Or it is making too much sense. It's not making sense why he would be doing this. It's unfortunately murder. So obviously people geolocated this. It's Lake Elsinore. We know it's Lake Elsinore. That's another
1,000?
picture of him getting out of his car, walking over to them. Same fit in Lake Elsinore. It's been geolocated with the telephone poles. And it says
Is that the same car that,
to keep a
that
secret.
the
It
body
involves
was
a minor.
found?
December the 14th, 2024. That's when it was taken. So we know that now. What's really weird is obviously the rumor was that they were broken up and he was trying to cover this up. But okay, here's the thing: on December the 30th, 2024, just before New Year's Eve, right? David and Celeste would be photographed together in downtown LA. And these were pictures that Steve Fisher apparently got from the property. I guess the LAPD didn't search it quite well enough. And Steve Fisher, the private investigator, shout out to him, I will meet him soon. He found pictures on an SD card in the property and he posted them. All right? I don't think the LAPD were too happy about this, but shout out to Steve because he's putting that in release where several photos were taken in public. Celeste was 14 years old at the time, about 70 miles from her home in Lake Elsinore. Whether she was sober that night was open to interpretation.
Oh my
There's photo
gosh.
evidence of them together again on January the 2nd, 2025. Then on January 8th, Sizable Crew was filming a music video with David out of state. And by January the 11th, David is in his hometown in Texas.
Okay, well,
On
that
January
doesn't
20th,
really
2025, he's on a Delta
count.
flight. Question is,
Using alcohol to cook, that doesn't count. Hello, AJ. Welcome, welcome. I hope work went well. Thanks for coming on here, even though, you know. That doesn't count. Having alcohol in your, because then the heat just kind of burns off the effects of alcohol. If yeah.
where was Celeste between January 3rd and January 20th? Can anyone account for her during that time?
Then that means a lot of us had alcohol in our system then, because a lot of alcohol, or there's dishes that use alcohol, like yeah.
There were many people present at the music video shoot. Did anyone see her? What about his hometown in Texas? Does anyone even have any proof of life for Celeste Rivas Hernandez?
And also using beer for the meat actually helps tenderize it too. That's what I've heard.
The 2nd, 2025. There she is, right? They was together. He had this knife, and this knife matches the description of the knife that was used to kill her, right? It is what it is. This creepy barn. A lot of very unusual unanswered questions. Now, interestingly enough, during that night, you know, we saw that picture of David holding the knife, and I believe there were even other pictures of the knife.
Oh,
right,
the
there
knife.
it is.
Is that the knife that killed her?
I'm not going to lie to you people. I think that was a knife used to kill her. I think it was. That's just my opinion. Right? So everything's alleged. Alleged opinion to her. David's little tiny feet to the fire. And so basically the day after that, on the official New Year's Eve, December the 31st, 2024, that's when David and Celeste were actually seen partying with members of David's inner circle. Okay, so there would be this going around. SF put out a full post with more pictures. Said on December the 31st, 2024, at around 10 p.m., several people were at David's house. Although Celeste Rivas Hernandez is not clearly visible in any of the photos from that evening, we believe she was present.
Oh, get to show me safely, and good luck on your cut.
Another photo, which appears to have been taken by David, shows what are likely Celeste's fingers on a bottle.
Good
the
luck.
Likely Celeste's appears to be
You're
on a
in
Wi-Fi setting
for
screen and connected to the Wi-Fi
good
network.
luck.
Even though
That's all I
iPhones
can
use a
tell
private
you.
Wi-Fi address feature. The
You
address
got
remains fixed for a
this.
specific network, meaning it stays the same each time the device reconnects to that router. Hopefully, law enforcement investigators have reviewed the router logs to determine exactly when Celeste's phone and everyone else's phones were connected to the home Wi-Fi network. And computers in the photos, including these photos and many others, claim they did not see Celeste or were not at the house, yet the router logs show their phone was connected to the Wi-Fi. Now they have. The last photo of Celeste is not from that night, it's from another time and meant to show her phone to compare with the phone on the table. So I'll show you these pics, these images. Grab something from under the desk because my feet are cold. And look, we got Neo there toasting up a bottle. Says most likely Celeste is taking this photo. And that's her phone. You can also see the Hello Kitty mug there. David's hitting a vape, right? I don't know if he's going to be getting any vapes in the county. But anyway, they're saying that's Celeste taking the photo. Oh, sorry, that's David taking the photo. And the little
This
yellow
little
circle on the
girl
right-hand
is
side there, which
here
suggests
while
that
they're
that
just
actually might be
doing
Celeste's
this.
hand. And then we've got next image, which is sort of a zoomed in close up of the phone on the Wi-Fi. And shout out to Steve Fisher. Honestly, I feel like my guy Steve Fisher needs to be.
I'm not really
needs
much
to
of a
be in
wine
the
girl.
official LAPD
It's I don't really like the taste of it.
He is doing
It's a little bit
exceptional police
too
work, okay?
fermented
You think I'm a snitch
for
investigator
me.
now activated. So,
I think
that is Celeste there.
I
don't know if
prefer
that
wine
picture was
that's
taken on
like
the same day.
super sweet.
But it's a good look. And
That's
so
the only
within
way I
a
can
day
drink
or
it.
two of this, we would be seeing another picture on the timeline. January the 2nd, 2025, David and Celeste would actually be seen at the Los Angeles National Forest, and there would be a bunch of pictures going around. And it was very, very interesting and coincidental. It says David wrote an interesting word in the picture he took in early 2025, coinciding with the billboard. Put this up, all right? It says she could mean Japanese kanji for death. If you turn this upside down, this high looks like 14, which would have been her age. David put, my sight is beautiful. And then this was posted as well. So he posted this after New Year's. They reset this in LA. I want to go and see this at some point. But it's a list of how many smoking deaths are caused.
That's
and it said
nasty.
death from smoking on his Finsta.
What's mead?
And this is when we're starting to get more people giving their theories on how premeditated this murder was. Says it's becoming more and more apparent that David likely premeditated and planned everything, and Celeste was unalived earlier in the year. It's getting more obvious based on various details. The pictures David took of the rock that says hi, which later Jin, big shout out to her for finding these amazing things, were on purpose, not the other words on the rock. The Japanese shi means death. The number 4 is also pronounced shu in Japanese, meaning it's the same word for death and making it a symbol night on New Year's Eve. And in David's video of the smoking death bill to death from smoke, him putting out, David continued posting in May, which strongly said what would have been allegedly Celeste's
Dang,
last
people
known
on Reddit
photograph
are on
was
it.
on a camera that was apparently owned by David, and this potentially means that David didn't see Celeste in the days leading up to the murder, because the last time that David was seemingly pictured with Celeste was on January the 2nd. So it sounds like he pulled her back into his orbit for New Year's. They linked up, they hung out, they did their thing. He's out here posing with a knife. They're going into the woods. I don't know if this was him planning it out. And then by the end of January, he's talking about he's been so sad and he can't post. But she's still alive until April, and it makes me think maybe she was going to expose him. He paid off the friends. He got back with her thinking he's going to control her, he's going to control the situation. Things went left. He was abhorrently sad at the end of January. And at some point, he must have concocted the plan to entice her back in April and get rid of her. Maybe he was threatened. Maybe the friends weren't keeping as quiet as they've been paid to be. But yeah, so this says 1 year ago today, January the 2nd, 2025, the last known photo date that Steve Fisher's investigation has uncovered of Celeste. It's important to emphasize law enforcement investigators have access to more extensive resources and happened on that day. Images metadata of the Hills,
Dang,
California.
dude, Reddit is
3rd,
on it, bro.
2025. This
They're
is going around.
just...
David posted these on his Twitter. It says, took these pics while listening to album mixes. Now, this ended up becoming the front cover of his weird album with some animations on there. I believe this is the forest where he posted the picture of 14 spray painted on a rock.
Champagne?
This actually
Champagne's
does
not
look
bad.
a little bit, a lot like the little walk
solid.
that went on with Celeste where she was
I can handle
that.
champagne.
And that's David looking like a little bitch. So, and that's a hoodie that Celeste was seen wearing in the last picture of her that was taken alive. So again, just incrimination all across the board, non-stop incrimination. He planned would be released basically later on, but even more interesting, okay, he would announce in February the 4th, 2025 that this album would be coming on the 25th of April. And I wonder whether this is around the time he planned the murder, because I think there's too many coincidences. The album's called Withered, which is what happens to a body after it's beginning to decay. He posted decay a bunch of times on Discord. There's basically a bunch of little hints that I think, just in my opinion, I think he might have planned the murder, and he might have planned the murder around the album. That's my honest opinion. He said, Withered the album, 25th of April. Thank you all eternally for waiting on me. The album means so much to
Maybe
me. You
like
have no
the
idea
album
blood,
and the
sweat, and tears
tour
pain
was
that's
like
created this
a
project over the past 2 years.
supposed to be an alibi.
What else were you working on over 2 years, David? What else were you trying to do? Cover up blood, sweat, and tears. Me, pre-order the album. Okay. Day for David, he starts teasing his bloody t-shirts. And again, it just makes me feel like this was premeditated. So it's a tarpaulin. This isn't the sheet she was wrapped up in. I've looked into that. There was a rumor that maybe he put real blood on these shirts, but I don't think she'd been murdered at this point. But I do think he knew what he was planning. I think he knew what he was doing. I think that this was all part of the law, and he got a little bit too wrapped up in what was going on now. From the 12th of April to the 20th of April, which is getting close to when the murder takes place, David would be performing at Coachella, and he would be partying with his friends out there. And this is also where he debuted a new red tattoo on his hand. You've seen this. So, this is apparently where he revealed a new Jesus tattoo. Look at this. This in an image posted, I believe, the day after the murder, and his hand looked a lot more sore in the middle from what looked like, you know, trauma from stabbing somebody and the knife kind of coming back into your hand. Now,
dang, people are getting so into
that
it.
doesn't mean that it wasn't potential.
They're looking at his hand, seeing if it's like, oh my gosh, trauma from stabbing someone. Oh, I can't. I can't.
Be used as a cover up for some kind of injury. I don't think he's that smart, but hey, it is an interesting piece of the puzzle. Now,
I knew so many people that wanted to go
in the timeline
to
for
the
the moment the
show.
actual murder took place. So on April the 21st, 2025, allegedly 2 days before the murder took place, David would announce the pre-sale tickets to his world tour for.
I was one of those people who wanted to go to his shows. It was like a few months before his tour that I was actually streaming, and I was actually talking to one of my viewers, and he actually went to no, not a viewer. It was actually someone. Yeah, actually, I think it was a viewer. He actually went to one of his shows. Wild. And I was like, dang, wow, so jealous that you got to see his show, and da 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 da. And here we are.
A tour that would be beginning, or the pre-sale that would be beginning for his world tour on April the 23rd, 2025. That is the date. Pre-sale starts Wednesday the 24th of April at 10 a.m. So I don't know if he planned it. All right.
I'll help you.
That very date, okay, day before the album drop. Interesting, okay. Got a different cross on his hand, or is that the same one? I don't know, but it looks different in this picture. Out here chilling with the guys, won't be doing that for a long time. Very interesting, straight crash dummy behavior, all right. So that's now we get to the current timeline. So this will be some stuff you've seen before, but now you got all the context, you'll be able to understand it more. So on the day of the alleged murder, that's when David and
Used to love his music. Now every chance she gets, she crashes out saying it's on site if she sees him in person. I mean, I don't blame her, AJ. I also did love before earlier in stream, I was showing the people or the you know, chat, those who haven't heard his music, like some songs that I liked from him. So yeah, it just doesn't hit the same anymore. I can't even listen to his music anymore. It just yeah. All right, but we can do a little change up of things. It is quite heavy. It is quite heavy. What we watched tonight. Sorry, y'all. It was a lot of heavy stuff. It is actually. This looks kind of good. Looks kind of good. I learned about him too late. Yeah. That looks really good. Bite into it. Oh, okay, or cut into it. That's fine. Oof. Bubbles, what are you doing? You are so silly. Okay. It's time to eat. He's like literally trying to get my attention. You're so funny, baby. Why don't you slide under there? He like tried to get my attention by going behind my computer screen and then climbing underneath my monitor to go through the small little crack to get to me. You're so cute. Oh yes. After my cut, we're gonna do some big back activities where we're gonna do some combos where I'm gonna try to make some combo foods. Like, I don't know, you guys will give me a combo and I'm gonna try to make that shit. Like a cinnamon roll cheesecake cookie. I don't know. Like, we're gonna do some crazy big back. Oh, hello, wait, what?
Before we start to turn it out, you must first begin to.
This is just. Oh my gosh.
My condolences to those who bought this 4K mini projector before because it's now on a massive
It's
discount.
only diabetes.
I've tested basically every mini projector.
Potato.
This editing is so crazy.
It's actually unfair how good these are. You want some?
7-calorie cookie? Where? Let me, huh? Where, huh?
Skip that and do this!
Take a big step back and literally fuck your own face!
By the way, before I reveal the recipe,
What is this
I made a
commentary?
free cookbook called the F-Bomb Starter Kit. So comment the words starter kit and I'll send it straight to your DMs.
What is this commentary?
Fuck yeah. How many of these ooey and fucking gooey sheet pan chocolate chip blondies could you guzzle down for less calories than
He's
this
a
crumble cookie that I still have?
I can't. 3 meals? Girl, that burger would have been my one meal. That's just doing too much, girl. That's just doing way too much. That's doing too much, girl. That's doing too much.
I
would
hated
just
crumble
eat
last
the
time I
burger.
got it, and everybody told me I went to a bad location, so here I am at a new location. We're gonna test them today and see if I like them this time. I've been waiting for a flavor lineup that I thought I would like just to
Been
give
waiting
crumble
at a
the
bus
best
stop
chance,
for
so
a
I
bus
don't
stop.
sound like a
Aw,
hater. And I've been waiting
AJ.
a while, so I feel like I'm gonna start on a good note. So I'm gonna start with the one that I think
Please
I'm
be
going to like
safe.
the
Please
most.
be
This is
safe.
the dirt
And
cake
please
cookie.
stay
It's
warm.
a dark chocolate cookie coated
2
in
double
cookies and
Whoppers
cream
today. I ain't
crumbles. It has
ashamed.
fudge frosting on top. Looks pretty good.
Nothing to be
Looks
ashamed of
pretty
past that.
fudgy. Cheers.
What kind of bite is that, girl?
I'm excited to.
Yo, you guys will not believe what I just invented.
Invented?
This is the smartest kid in Slovenia. He won the Slovenian Got Talent. He can calculate faster than you with your calculator.
So you say I've been craving it all day. We have the hot noodles. Won't come off.
What?
Salt. Don't mind my hair.
Butter and some string cheese? What is that? steak. Freaking nuts. Wait, actually, Pasek, I've never had it like that.
Time ticks by.
Yeah. Pound cake.
More
It's
fruit.
yummy with noodles? I gotta try that one day.
2 cans. Fresh strawberries over top. Chill this in the fridge for a couple hours.
Ooh, this actually looks kind of good.
Yeah.
Pound cake gets modded? That's... How dirty is... How dirty is freaking...
2 cans.
Chat that you get modded for pound cake.
This is flying off the shelf.
Jesus. Like, chat is that dirty that they have to mod pound cake. That is wild. What cereal is that? Is that Cinnamon Toast Crunch? Weetabix? No, never even had Weetabix. I don't even know why it says Weetabix. Too much chocolate.
That's what it is.
Personality Day with Somi? What's Personality Day? Oh, okay, that's a little bit too ooey gooey. I like a little bit of crunch on the edges. Oh, there's a crunch.
Mix eggs to Nutella and you'll be amazed by the result.
Alright, let's make some eggs. Sometimes you need to eat an entire cucumber.
We just take the days off.
Start by slicing your entire cucumber.
Cucumber's going in.
Start by adding some imitation crab.
You would cry? Pound Town? Dude. Oh. Oh. Personality Day. Oh. Apple fritters? You know, when I was younger, I didn't like apple fritters, and then I tried it once, and I'm like,
gonna do it?
Chapalanos, cheddar, sourdough, loaf. Oh, that looks good. Yeah, apple fritters actually are kind of fire. They're actually really fire, actually. Chapalanos. Oh my gosh. AJ. Ah, smash burger.
Sign that my fortune just begun. You got me jumping like.
All right, last one. Dubai chocolate? Chocolate! Chocolate! Marshmallows. Ooh. You haven't? It's actually not bad. Pastag is actually not bad. Wait, where's the Dubai chocolate? Ugh. Bruh. Okay, I would eat that. Ooh. Oh.
you know the Walmart?
Okay. Guys, this is where I'm gonna be ending stream. Um, thank you to everyone who came on. Oh, psych. This is not where I'm ending it. I had to do a little bit of a reading from the Bible. Um, even though we started the stream a little bit kind of a little dark and gloomy, let's end it on a good note. A little lightheartedness. I know last night we were on the book of Ecclesiastes. So let's read second chapter of Ecclesiastes. I like dark and gloomy. Maybe we'll do some more crime videos in the future, or maybe tomorrow. And eyes cleanse, yeah. But when I consume too much, crime videos, I get very paranoid and scared of the world, to the point where like I don't want to leave the house. So there definitely has to be a moderation of how much we consume, because I do get scared. But yeah. I want this rain to last through the morning. Oh, I hope it does, so that way you can fall asleep to the rain. That'd be cute. We need happy times. Oh yes, happy times tomorrow. Happy times tomorrow. Pause for sure, because it's Sunday. It has to be happy times. But okay. We are gonna be reading chapter 2 of Ecclesiastes. So y'all just sit back, lay back, or whichever. Yeah, watch funny videos until you fall asleep. And just relax a little bit. Pleasures are meaningless. I said to myself, come now, I will test you with the pleasure to find out what is good. But that also proved to be meaningless. Laughter, I said, is madness. And what does pleasure accomplish? I tried cheering myself with wine and embracing folly. My mind is still guiding me with wisdom. I wanted to see what was good for people to do under the heavens during the few days of their lives. I undertook great projects. I built houses for myself and planted vineyards. I made gardens and parks and planted all kinds of fruit trees in them. I made reservoirs to water groves of flourishing trees. I bought male and female slaves and had other slaves who were born in my house. I also owned more herds and flocks than anyone in Jerusalem before me. I amassed silver and gold for myself and the treasures of kings and provinces. He's tweaking. Um, I acquired male and female singers and a harem as well. The delights of a man's heart. I became greater by far than anyone in Jerusalem before me. In all this, my wisdom stayed with me. I denied myself nothing my eyes desired. I refused my heart no pleasure. My heart took delight in all my labor, and this was the reward for all my toil. Yet when I surveyed all that my hands had done, and what I had toiled to achieve, everything was meaningless, a chasing after the wind. Nothing was gained under the sun. Wisdom and folly are meaningless. Then I turned my thoughts to consider wisdom, and also madness and folly. What more can the king's successors do than what has already been done? I saw that wisdom is better than folly, just as light is better than darkness. The wise have eyes in their heads, while the fools walk in the darkness. But I came to realize that the same fate overtakes them both. Then I said to myself, the fate of the fool will overtake me also. What then do I gain by being wise? I said to myself. This too is meaningless, for the wise like the fool will not be long to remember. The days have already come when both have been forgotten. Like the fool, the wise too must die. Toil is meaningless. So I hated life because the work that is done under the sun was grievous to me. All of it is meaningless, a chasing after the wind. I hated all the things I had toiled for under the sun because I must leave them to the one who comes after me. And who knows whether that person will be wise or foolish, yet they will have control over all the fruit of my toil into which I have poured my effort and skill under the sun. This too is meaningless. So my heart began to despair over all my toilsome labors under the sun. For a person may labor with wisdom, knowledge, and skill, and then they must leave all they own to another who has not toiled for it. This too is meaningless and a great misfortune. What do people get for all the toil and anxious striving with which they labor under the sun? All their days, their work is grief and pain. Even at night, their minds do not rest. This too is meaningless. A person can do nothing better than to eat and drink and find satisfaction in their own toil. This too I see is from the hand of God, for without him who can eat or find enjoyment? To the Dang, it's raining. Okay. To the person who pleases him, God gives wisdom, knowledge, and happiness. But to the sinner who gives the task of gathering and storing up wealth to hand it over to the one who pleases God. This too is meaningless, a chasing after the wind. And that is chapter 2. And to kind of, wrap things up here a little bit, I'll end it again with another prayer. I pray that, again, you guys will have a great night. I pray that tomorrow will be a good day for you guys. It is, you know, Sabbath Sunday, if you want to say that. It's a rest day. I hope that you guys get a lot of rest. I hope you guys are energized for the new week to come. May this new week that comes bring a lot of blessings, and opportunities and just a lot of fun moments, that we can look back on. I pray in Jesus' name. Amen. But yeah, let it rain tomorrow. We watch cute Asian guys. Oh my gosh. Hallelujah. Amen. um, yeah, it's Saturday night. I forget that it's Saturday nights. My days just be looking the same every single day, so I don't even know what day it is sometimes. But yes, tomorrow is Sunday, so for those who do go to church, have a great service. AJ, please get to Somi's place safely. But with that, this is where I'm going to be saying goodnight to you guys. So good night to you, AJ. Good night, Alberto. Good night, Pastat. Good night, Marisol. Anyone else? I think Urge already left. Maui Wowie, if he's still here. Good night to you. Anyone else in chat? If I missed you, go ahead and just comment. I can say good night to you right now. But if not, I will say good night to you guys. Yeah, good night to you guys. I think tomorrow we might go back to TikTok, because if I do get a good haul for my thrifting, then like Alberto said, to go full screen, I'll do full screen. So then I might just go on TikTok as like a FaceTiming, back to our FaceTiming type of stream, for tomorrow. But I will definitely let you guys know if I don't get anything at Goodwill, and like I don't get any good thrifting stuff, then I don't need to be doing that. Stagecoach, I don't really listen to country music. But I know Alberto does, so But yeah, I'll definitely keep you guys updated. If I do change to TikTok, I'll definitely let you guys know in Discord. Or if we just stay on. That's true. I can just full screen here on Twitch. I can just do Twitch as well. But okay. I will see you guys tomorrow. We need to get you a camera so you can do full screen on here also. Oh man. Good night to you guys. Good night. Good night.